Alright, welcome back to Mad Science the Card Game Tutorials, Phase 2, Battle. First, what you need to do, now that you've completed building your creature, is take your pen and your paper and give it a name. We're going to call our creature Banana Face. And that's not terribly original because he has the banana face head. First thing you need to do is look at your body, and there is a number in a circle right there. You see that 4? That's your baseline number. Then your weapon has a plus in a red circle, that's a +1. And the arm, in this case, has a +2. So what you do is you take those 3 circled numbers and you add them together. 4, 1, and 2. 7. Basic math. Now the first player to complete their creature gets a bonus of +3. All other players after the first player will just add up their numbers. But the first player gets the bonus of +3. So in this case we have 7 + 3. So Banana Face gets 10. That's your life total during Phase 2 and Phase 3 Battle and Combat. That's the number we'll be subtracting from as we fight the horrible experiment and then each other.
Rolling.
Also, write down the horrible experiment's life number. In this case, we're battling the giant mutant spider, who has a value of 12. So we write that down. Don't forget, some players will still be in Phase 1, while others have entered Phase 2 battle. And that's okay. They'll just keep building their creatures until they're ready to enter combat. And that's why the first player to enter the battle phase gets the +3 bonus. Okay, we're ready for combat in the battle phase. This is going to be done with dice and some special rules on the card. Now, here's how it works. The player whose turn it is will roll the dice. So I rolled a 2. And the first thing I do is look at the middle column, which is the squares. If I roll a number that has one of the arrows on it, I follow the arrows to the outer column and I roll again. If I roll something that has a red arrow into the red circles, that's the player column. And any of those items refer specifically to the player. If I roll one of the purple arrows, I go to the purple column and it says EXP, that's for experiment, horrible experiment. And any of those items apply to the horrible experiment. There are several specialized items here.
Double strike. Double strike means both the horrible experiment and the player take 1 life damage.
Roll a number twice. In this case, roll 6 twice. That means you just rolled a 6. If you roll another 6, you get to use your creature's special power. This could be roll 2, roll 4, it could be any number from 1 to 6. The special power appears on the weapon card, which is to the left of the body. In this case, on Banana Face, I have a special, which is 3. That means that the horrible experiment would lose 3 life. Other unique items, lose 1 life is pretty obvious. If it's in the experiment side, if it's on the experiment side, the experiment loses 1 life. If it's on the player side, and I'm rolling, I'm the player, I lose 1 life. If it says free ride, that means nothing happens. Next turn. If it says head drop or arm drop or any other part, that means that I, as the player, drop a part. Basically, the experiment knocked it off me. The head drop in this case was on a 3 roll. That's an odd number. If it's an odd number, on my next turn, what I will do, as you can see, I've turned my head over because it was dropped. On my next turn, I will roll the dice. If I roll an odd number, because the head drop was an odd number, I get my head back and I can continue playing. If I roll an even number, I don't get my head back and I lose 1 life. On my next turn, I will automatically get the part back. On the experiment side, there's a circle labeled special move. If you roll the special move, you read what is written right at the bottom of the experiment card and you follow the instructions there. There may be rolls, there may be life lost. You just follow what it says and you continue playing that way. You might see lose 2 life and the rules there are the same as lose 1 life. That can be anywhere on the card. And you might see roll again, and that simply means roll again. So in battle, just remember, when it's your turn, you roll the dice, and you follow the center column with the squares. And then if there's an arrow, you roll again for one of the circle columns, or you follow the instructions in the square. And that's combat. And you continue until the horrible experiment reaches 0 life. One other thing. If a creature's life reaches 0 before the horrible experiment, that player with that creature loses a turn, and on the subsequent turn gets a +1 life, and can then continue battling the horrible experiment. And that will continue until the horrible experiment is destroyed. When the horrible experiment reaches 0 life, the Phase 2 battle is over, and all players are ready to enter Phase 3, which is the break it up, take the creatures apart phase, and that will be our next tutorial. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.